When last we left our heroes, you had awoken, friendless and memoryless, in the waste, momentarily in a tower with one friendly person who spoke through his own emotions, describing the friendship that he had with you all once upon a time. He said that you no longer had your memories per your own commitment, and that the knowledge, which was dangerous to you and to anyone that would hold it, had been imparted into this little crystal named L, which has some limited mobility of its own, and was now to be given to you. He said that you would be somewhat protected by not holding this knowledge from the direct gaze of the mad god, but that it would be up to you to find an appropriate repository, someone with whom to leave this knowledge, whatever it is that's contained in that crystal, and you don't know. When some of you said that it was a terrible idea, Ziri also said that he agreed, but the idea wasn't his, it was actually Ilya's. Ilya was like, yeah, so it seems like a good idea, actually. So that seems right. You guys had pretty much immediately come under attack at that tower from some cobbled together monstrosities animated by archaic energy. You had fought them, but it really fled out into the howling waste. You had survived out there with your hastily gathered supplies for just a day or two before coming across this column of marching armed people. They were led by this guy, Aldrin the Grim, and they had been making their way across the wasteland for a purpose that's not clear to you. They had an HQ, though, and upon contact with them, which didn't go very smoothly, you guys had, let's say, joined their party, most optimistically. Really, you'd been taken prisoner. Notably, you had killed a couple of them. And I mean, they had really had to force you into shackles.
One guy.
So you guys had basically proceeded under armed guard to this place just called the camp. Apparently, it's not their headquarters. Aldrin has made several references to a place called Paragon, and that you'll be going there at some point. But he's not made it clear to anybody what that place is, why you'd be going there, what you should expect once you get there. But this is clearly a place that is a temporary stop, although some people live here in this somewhat grim outpost on the wasteland full time. You guys have mostly been given your freedom in the context of this camp here, since there isn't really anywhere else to go. And you've now passed a couple of days here. The first day, you mostly just tried to rest and recover. Ilya, notably, was among the fiercest of you to resist the imprisonment and to try to break away. For his trouble, Aldrin had both of Ilya's arms broken at the forearm. He had managed to walk a shocking distance after that, despite the increasing agony and complications from such a wound. But actually, Doolin had to carry on the last couple of miles to the camp, and Doolin did. So Ilya has been recuperating in and out of consciousness for about 2 days now. Doolin has been broadly standing guard over him, staying at this hospitality tent, which is tended by this woman, Emil Dodson. And yesterday, Shaw and Deirdre decided to be a little more proactive and go out into the camp, which is, despite its sort of temporary seeming construction, apparently a fixture out here, and has some permanent residences, which also means some permanent industries. Doolin and Deirdre thought, pretty reasonably, that those industries must include a smith or a craftsperson somewhere, and must include a healer somewhere of some kind. And they found both, and had their own sort of negotiations and interactions with them. Deirdre has returned just last night to the hospitality tent. As of yet, Shaw has not. And as we begin, Ilya, Deirdre, and Doolin have managed to in shifts, as you've done that last night, to make sure somebody's awake. You managed to sleep through the night. You've been brought water a couple of times yesterday by this woman, Emil. You have some food that you've been snacking on, I suppose, as we go. You've all had a chance to rest for a full night. Shaw has yet to reappear. So, Shaw, do you need any extra specific recap of what you were doing? Or do you remember having it? Okay. So, you kind of complete the terms of your arrangement as it's not light out, but you've worked for what by any reasonable standard is all night. It's still very dark. The woman you've been working for, Audra Kelm, has long since gone to bed and imparted some degree, at least, of implicit trust in you, of leaving you alone with some tools for a while, and you've worked several more hours into the night. What are you doing?
I'll clean up my station once I feel like I've kind of upheld my end of my bargain. Let's see. If there's any like little scrap bits that aren't useful for anything, I'll pocket those. Just little odds and ends. And make sure the shop is back in kind of tidy order and head back to the tent.
Okay. There's actually a lot of scraps. Metal scraps, mostly. Some just little flakes, which, fed off as you've been working. Some larger bits, failed pieces, other constructions, not your work, but things that have obviously been cast into a scrap bin. There's as many as 3 pounds of metal scrap if you want them.
Oh.
I mean, more than you put in your pockets. But if you want just shavings, you can get those too.
Yeah. Cool. I'll figure out how much I can carry.
Sure.
Yeah,
right.
I'll head back to the tent.
Gotcha. Yeah, Doolin, I know you stayed up for a while, keeping watch, despite the fact you're in a settlement, and Deirdre did the same thing. But actually, for the first time in a while, Ilya is actually like conscious and able to move around. To Deirdre and Doolin, especially to Doolin, his arms look shockingly better. Not just a marginal improvement day after day, but compared to how they've been the last couple of days, I mean, they still look pretty rough. They're still like swollen at these points, and but they're straight. And despite the inflammation, he seems to be moving his fingers around with some groans and winces, but that's a hell of a lot better than it had been. And so as it happens, actually, Doolin had pulled that wicker chair over a little bit closer so he could watch Ilya, and he is asleep in it. And Deirdre herself, after having watched for a while, is curled up in one of those round pillows, and Ilya is actually the one awake when Shaw comes walking through the tent flap. Miss Emil nowhere to be seen at this time. And yeah, Shaw looks like hammered shit. He's looks exhausted, his face is drawn, his eyes are kind of sunken. He's got tons of dust and dirt caked in every crevice of his face. And he's walking with that kind of like wobbly side-to-side shuffle of somebody who is into the later stages of fatigue. But Shaw, when you come back, Ilya is on one of those large floor cushions, and he's actually sitting up. You guys make eye contact.
Just pause for a moment. Give like a deep nod. I'll walk over to the other side of that floor cushion, kind of sit down on the bed next to him. Drop a pack on the floor next to me and pull out a rag and start just kind of wiping my face off.
You look like shit.
Pot, eat kettle. Actually, well, I look a lot less like shit than you did yesterday.
Yeah, it looked like old shit. You look like new shit. Yeah.
Somebody's got to keep it fresh. Kind of cough and spit and like bundle up my rag and stuff it back in my pack. Just pull out some water and take a big chug, and then just lay down, just kind of plop for a second. Well, you need anything? Or I'll pass out.
A story, maybe. What have you been? What have you been doing?
I'll lean back up and start unlacing my boots. Well, just went to see what I could find out there. Got a whole functioning little tent city here, so figured I'd trade some know-how for some information or help. Found a blacksmith that seemed familiar enough, and still know how to do a few things. But lady put me to work. Said she'd give me a connection with somebody that might be able to help you out. But you seem to be doing fine yourself, so maybe she'll pay me with something else. We'll see.
Ilias stands up, and I don't know how actually my arms are gonna work. He'll walk around over to where Shaw's bag is. Perhaps something else?
Come again?
You've brought something back.
It's just my normal backpack.
Don't you have 3 pounds of metal scrap in there?
Yeah, but there's a bunch of shit in my backpack.
Is there? We don't have anything. Is it not a noticeable amount of new shit?
I mean, no, they took our weapons, but we kept all our gear, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a pack full of stuff.
Oh,
So I don't know. I'm not sure you know that there's.
okay, Mr. Moneybags. All right, okay. I don't notice it. I apologize. All right. Yeah, Ilya will just get up and. I mean, this is kind of the first time he stood in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
First time Shaw sat. First time Ilya stood. I don't know. There's some cool symbolism there. I want to try out these arms and see. I mean, this isn't anecdotal. They are actually noticeably better, correct? I mean,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'll go grip I tried to hide a dagger because I have 3 daggers. Ilya has 3 daggers when they were taking our weapons. I tried to hide one. Do we remember if I kept one or not? I don't remember.
He asked us to mark with asterisks anything that was taken off of our bodies.
You know what? The only thing we got an arrow. We had an arrowhead, is what we used as a dagger. Never mind. So no, I wouldn't have a dagger. I'll just go grip this pole. Okay. I'm assuming this is a tent pole right here. Yeah. I'll just test it out.
Yeah. Well, it hurts, but I mean, you can grip it, right? You can move your arms. They are still pretty swollen, pretty inflamed all the way up, but compared to yesterday, with just those sort of blinding pulses of agony coming up every heartbeat from your arms, whatever the actual break point was is less obvious. Now just your whole arm kind of throbs when you do that, and your fingers kind of tingle in a way that doesn't inspire confidence, but your arms work. You can grip things, you can raise them up, and you can kind of rattle that tent pole around, although of course it's fixed pretty well on the ground.
Hey, weapons of any type, I'm looking. Shaw can go to sleep, that's fine. Anything that's improvised, anything at all.
So yeah.
I don't know if there's a butter knife, if there's anything. I want to see if we can find, and I know that this happened, but Ilya has been in and out of it, so he's going to do it himself because I actually had hit points, which is cool.
Sure. Yeah. So you spend a minute or two looking around. Shaw, seeing that you're occupying yourself, passes out, and for what it's worth, Deirdre and Doolin both. I mean, you guys were keeping watch earlier. Even when you were asleep, you're still alert for any types of disturbances. So both of you kind of wake up as Ilya is moving around, especially because he can't stop himself from cursing every once in a while when he tries to move something that's has any significant weight to it. It doesn't re-injure himself, but it clearly causes flashes of pain. So
Fuck.
you wake up as he's in the midst of searching around this hospitality tent here for any weapon of any kind.
Oh, you bastard. What in the hell are you doing?
I'm looking for a weapon. They took an. I'm looking for something.
Listen, you need to act like your arms are broken.
Well, I'll fucking break him again.
This is, well, I don't know about that, but I do know that she like takes a few quick steps to you. So magic is forbidden, and that was a slightly magical ointment I put on you. So I just don't be acting so well, please. Don't be trying to grab stuff, please.
I'm gonna walk over.
I think I need to make some new bandages.
I'm Doolin, and kind of taking a step back in response to your immediate threat you just made to me. By the way, saying to Deirdre, yes, yes, I think that's a good idea. Bandage them up and make it look like I will do my best, and also advantage for us, right? They think that I cannot. It hurts like son of bitch, but it's still.
Don't
yes.
be pushing it. Don't be trying to use your grip this time, please.
We don't need you to be Ilya right now. Right? We need you to lay on the bed.
Just want to recap something real quickly, and it wasn't something that Deirdre and Shaw were here for. So Ilya and Doolin, would you mind hopping into the D&D chat real quick? Just want to recap something that we'd all be forgiven for not remembering very well. Yesterday, while you guys were in the tent, pretty much by yourselves, right? Ilya was in and out of consciousness. Doolin was just looking after him. This guy came to the tent. Gathi.
Ooh, yes.
Gathi Ramos. Gathi. Flowing blonde hair. Kind of looks like a movie star. Athletic build. Dressed well.
Ilya treated him like absolute shit.
Ilya hates him. Yeah. But he wants to find aid for Ilya.
Yeah. And Doolin, for what it's worth, was more amenable. He told Gathi about basically how the group had woken in a magical tower and had to flee as it was destroyed. So Gathi insisted that he, unlike Aldrin the Grim here, was a true servant of Paragon, whatever that means. And he implied that Aldrin was kind of more of just sort of like a dim, short-sighted soldier, and that Gathi had a little bit more of an enlightened stance about what needed to be done. He basically offered to help you guys, just kind of came to introduce himself, wanted you to know there were alternatives, other people here with influence than just this grim soldier who had escorted you across the wasteland and taken you prisoner. You guys, oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. You actually had told Deirdre about that. But either way, yeah, I just wanted to remind you of that, that this guy had showed up and, but he had wanted you to know kind of who he was and just that he was there in the camp and would happily represent you at Paragon.
Yeah.
All right.
I definitely consider the challenge that Ilya made to him more of a, something that's a little hazy.
Deirdre was saying she needed to make new bandages and stuff. Deirdre, I also realized that you were told about this after the fact, but you weren't there for it. I was just reminding these guys that they had told you that some guy named Gathi had come to see them yesterday while you were out. Anyway, so you were telling Ilya, hey man, don't don't oversell the healing here, since it's not strictly legal.
I re-break his arms.
If I can first.
He's not guarded against me.
Roll for initiative. Fucking do it. Yeah.
I'll go back and get on the cushion where I'm sure I have an imprint, and do my best to do nothing, which will be a challenge for Ilya. But I'll do. He does his best.
Do you need any water? Any food?
Please.
I'll go collect him some food and water. And kind of look at Shaw, just observe him, and just see how exhausted he is,
Mhm.
And then try and bring him some stuff for whenever he needs it. So
When Doolin gets back with the food and water, Ilya has his arms down. And he goes, "You'll have to feed me." My arms don't work.
They're just ripping up some cloth, just chuckling.
you were just walking fine. What do you mean your arms don't work?
They don't
Yes.
work.
All right, well, don't fucking bite my hand.
Ilya, this probably hurts, but Ilya will snatch he'll laugh and then snatch the food out of his out of Doolin's hand.
I'm gonna set the food at the bed, just an arm, just a little bit away from where he can reach, so he'd have to move out of his spot and be like, "Oh, you're welcome."
As a reminder, you guys have these basically broad, hardtack loaves that are about the size of a pita thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't snatch that then, but I will.
All right. So all right. So
I go over and snatch it out of his hands and begin feeding him.
All right. Some time passes. Ilya gets some food. Shaw gets at least an hour or so of rest. There's increasing sounds of activities from outside. People are moving around. There are occasional sounds of conversation and cries of surprise as events take place. Clearly, the camp is coming to life around you. It's presumably getting at least a little bit light outside to the extent that it ever gets light. What are you guys doing?
I want to change his dressings.
Make a heal check.
I have some soap and water. I want to just get any of that cream off. Although I'm worried that I might be dampening its effects, but still having it gone makes me feel better.
Okay. Well, DC is 15 as a standard, so you did not get a critical success. You're just one short of that. But a success still means that the target regains 2d8 hit points, and its wounded condition is removed. So that's a big deal. Yeah. Roll 2d8.
Of my attending to him?
Yeah. This isn't good old Arbor rules of healing where you have to grind it out over weeks at a time and, things get infected and are terrible. This is Pathfinder 2e. So a successful treat wounds medicine check gives 2d8 hit points back. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm used to those types of heal rolls.
What's up?
You must be wearing or holding a healer's kit.
Touche.
Yeah, I don't have one of those, sadly.
All right.
Trying to get at that.
Good call out there then. So I'll tell you what, we'll give you a I guess a -8 on that, which still means, and I know by the letter of the law we can't do that. No, you know what? We're playing this game letter of the law. That was part of the point of it. So you can't attempt one without a heal check. All right, so you do your best to wrap the bandages around.
I really just want to get this cream off and rewrap it.
Sure, and just cover it up. Yeah, cover up the state of the wounds themselves. So okay, you do so in a medically responsible way. Fair. No,
and you take 3 points of damage back.
Unfortunately, you don't take 3 points of damage. Jordan has corrected me on that. Malik has corrected me on that.
then that's what I mean, it's like you have to
Oh yeah,
take
yeah.
off
Real
the three.
fast
That, yeah.
Yes, yes, indeed.
The rule lawyering was faster than the button pressing on this one. So
All right. Good. Okay.
there you go. Quick draw, Shaw.
All right. So yeah, before too long, Ilya is dressing been changed. Deirdre has removed some of the evidence of her very benevolent crime, and Shaw is still snoozing. Anything else you guys are doing in particular? We're just gonna let Shaw rest for a while.
Is there a fire in here? Or
There is not.
okay.
You said
Yeah.
there were cries of surprise from outside.
Just the general sounds of people
Hubbub.
interacting.
Oh, okay, so nothing out of the ordinary, nothing
Correct.
alarming. Yeah, Ilya just like is he's acting like he's hurt, but he also like just fucking hates just sitting here too. That like now that he can do things, so yeah, he's just kind of an asshole. Like not verbally, but just like with his eyebrows. Sorry, Dylan.
Sounds good.
I'm not going to touch any of Shaw's stuff. I'm just going to leave that entirely alone, and then just go back to my chair. I'm just not even going to like, because I see he's exhausted. I'm like, his arms aren't broken.
Is that like
he'll be
when
all
you
right.
update your Windows and it tells you your files are exactly where you left them? And like I wasn't worried before you said that, but now I suddenly am.
Listen, I'm verbally saying it. I didn't.
Okay. So a little bit of time passes, and Shaw, you have at least a little bit of a chance to rest here. Not a great deal of time passes. So, like I said, there's the sounds of increasing activity outside, and then as the morning is going into full swing in terms of whatever commerce happens here in the camp. Shaw, you should make a fortitude save. DC is 18.
You said Shaw?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. So you are considered technically fatigued right now, and despite a little bit of rest, it's not enough. And you wake up because the proprietress here of the hospitality tent, such as it is, comes in kind of suddenly. Emil, the kind of stout human woman with some apparent dwarven heritage to her, she comes in pushing aside the tent flap and carrying the same kind of odd sort of like rope and bucket contraption with which she's been hauling water this whole time. She comes in still hauling water, except this time she gets all of your attention very quickly, and even Shaw is kind of like blinking. Good morning. I need you all to be awake and moving. And she like drops the wash basin's worth of water just down kind of in the middle.
Ilya lets out a groan.
You please will take care of your needs and cleaning, and you are asked to report very shortly to the tent of Aldrim the Grim. He is preparing to depart. I have been asked to inform you. She looks
Well,
back.
how much time?
He has requested your presence, she says somewhat unhelpfully.
Sounds like a now. I'll sit up, shake my head, start getting dressed.
All right, we'll be there very shortly. Thank you.
Yes. She goes over and sits at the writing desk over here.
I'm gonna go wash myself off as quick as I can, and then after that, head over to Ilya and Shaw and see if they need any help, or if I just carry the basin over to them. Actually, that's probably what I'll do.
Ilya turns and like sits up in a not using his arms to do it and just grunting as he goes. And as he gets like sitting up, he goes, "You're not this man's fucking servants." Looks at the basin as you put it down.
Deirdre goes over and pretends to help Ilya sit up. I want to like bundle up his bandages in like a, obviously this is trash kind of way, and wash my hands and then get ready to go.
Gather your meager belongings.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe give him one more quick wash, but that's not really gonna be quick with changing bandages. So
Ilya, what are you wearing? Do you have just like regular trousers and shirt, kind of overcoat situation?
I have let's see. Yeah, I just have ordinary clothing. I got some leather armor. They took our arms, not our armor. So I'm in the state of my arms. I'm assuming I'm just completely dressed in the same way, except my sleeves are up. So
I have winter clothing that I brought, so I assume that comes with a jacket of some kind. So I'd like to like drape that over you so that kind of hide your arms underneath an outer layer. And yeah, I'll wash myself in the basin a little bit and get ready to go. Kind of straightforward.
Ilya just kind of, his legs are fine, but acting like he's in pain and weak. He'll turn to her name's Emil.
Yes.
He'll turn to Emil. Which way is the grin? Which way is he?
I can show you the way. And she gets up, looking like a little bit flustered and uncomfortable. Have you not been to his? I can show you the way.
I know the way.
Okay, very good. And she kind of taps her fingertips together nervously, and then she returns to the writing desk.
My lady did not wish to see the man who has done this to me again. Is there no alternative for us? Is there nothing else?
Not if you want to die right here, fighting.
There's always an alternative, but I think it looks very good.
Ilya doesn't, when he looks at Emil, he doesn't break his gaze.
She's turned away. She's back at the writing desk.
Oh, that was directed towards her.
Oh, sorry. Was there any alternatives? Question.
Yeah. Sorry, I mumbled, but yeah.
Yeah. She has turned away and gone back to the writing desk. Whether that's deliberately ignoring you or whether or not conscious of it, hard to say. You could try to get her attention again, but you'd have to actively do so.
I'll let my companions respond.
Okay.
In the ways that they have.
Trying to remember if I passed any fires on the way here last night.
Doolin, Shaw, what are you doing?
Let's stop by the blacksmith. Wait, be quick. He owes me something.
All right, let's do it. If you need anything extra carried, I'll carry it.
Just head out.
So pick a, if Ilya's got extra stuff, whoever's got extra stuff, I'll just end up putting it on my pack and then going.
I do have a backpack. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll take that.
Okay. So you guys head out of the tent flap and back out into the dust, just like yesterday, especially for Doolin and Ilya. You guys have had a couple of days of basically being inside of the same loose structure. And sure, the flaps and the canvas around you shakes and shudders and flaps with the wind and everything, but to reemerge back into the dust and the dimness and just the gloom of the outside here is unpleasant and striking, but it's also colder, even though there wasn't any actual fire inside, but just the close air and the shared proximity of other people apparently raised the temperature quite a bit, because the cold strikes you almost as much as the wind does when you walk back out into the street here and step over the simple gutters that have been carved basically just for water and sewage to run down. As you guys come out there, everybody just reflexively spends that moment readjusting their garments and hoods and jackets. And then, yeah, for a moment, you guys are staring at each other. What's up, Ilya?
Where is Elle?
Shaw has Elle. She's not in evidence, but yeah, He was the last one to have her.
I'll just start walking towards the blacksmith, kind of briskly and directly.
Blacksmith, Audra Kelm, has resumed work. You guys are, a few hours into the day now. So you guys follow Shaw, making his way somewhat confidently, if a little tiredly, through the streets, let's use the term charitably, of the camp here. And across the hard packed, alternating mud and dirt, you guys make your way to it's still a tent, but it's actually got a couple of rough brick walls, and then a larger tent structure that extends out from that. And there's a pretty open forge going on, encased in the bricks on one side, and then a few people that might be waiting for wares, and then a few apparently just lookers on. Most everyone is covered in some kind of either rough cloth or that kind of crazy, thick, poorly pliable, leathery substance. And so it's hard to see faces, but there are a lot of huddled forms kind of hanging around the forge here. But the smith herself, Audra, is not at all covered up, and despite the cold, she's generating, or she doesn't seem bothered by it because she's generating quite a bit of her own heat. Her dark hair, pockmarked face, and taut, wiry muscles in her arms are standing out as she swings what's a kind of a small finishing hammer over some kind of smaller work that she's got bent over an anvil, and it looks like she's trying to curve something around the horn of it. But as you guys walk up, Shaw, what are you doing?
I'll motion for these guys. Just wait here just a minute. It won't be long. I'll just walk right up to her. Kind of raise my hand. Wait for her to finish where she's on.
Okay. Her personal protective equipment consists of scraggly hair and a squint. So she's, just
the beard's for it.
Yeah, right. But so yeah, she's focused on what she's doing. But when she pauses for a second after a couple of swift strikes, she looks up, since you've kind of approached within inquiry distance, and he looks up and sees you and says, "Ah, right, sure. Hey, hang on." And she goes back to hammering just for another minute or two. Once she's finished, she quenches what she's working on, and then sets the tongs down and the hammer down on the anvil nearby. What's up, Billy?
Are there any weapons?
Yeah, a few of them. There aren't like big racks of them, in like an established smithy in a reasonable town that Ilya might be able to imagine. But there are a few. They're mostly hanging near the anvil on little hooks from the ceiling. Looks like a lot of them have like loops on the end of the haft of a couple of short swords, an axe, a couple of spiked clubs that seem to have like made entirely of metal that are blurring the line between club, mace, and morningstar. But yeah, there's a small variety of weapons there. So she puts her tools down and then says, "Well done last night. I thought you'd have fucked off before you were finished, but you didn't."
Well, we had a deal.
Last night.
I tend to be a man of my word best I can. I'll tell you, it felt good to feel useful. Have something that's familiar. Set myself about to. So just wanted to come by and say thank you for giving me that chance. Aldrin called us a little sooner than I expected, so we're be on our way.
What you mean on your way? And she picks up just a real coarse looking cloth and just wipes her hands off, but leaves her face kind of dirty and soot charred. And she says, "I reckon our bargain isn't fulfilled. You done your part. I haven't done mine. Who's your mate? Needs a healer. Because I can send someone round. There's a wispy sort of bird. Anyhow, I can find her."
I'll turn and see Ilya. Your chat is public. As
Yes.
she asked about my friend, I turn and see you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
actually, there's another chat that you guys can't see. So Ilya Looks like 46 seconds ago. Goes up and kind of like looks at the weapon, and Doolin, like as he walks away, Doolin just like reaches up and just kind of goes, "Hey!"
Nice.
And kind of like pulls him back. And it looks like Deirdre is doing the same thing. Ilya, are you like you? I mean, I know you're not like fighting against your friends pull you back. You just kind of like started to look, and then Doolin's like, "Hey," and Deirdre's like, "Hey," and they both kind of like usher you backwards.
Yeah, definitely let myself be deterred from this.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we on the same side that I went to before of the blacksmith right now?
Yes,
Is she out?
she's not, but you can
Okay.
see.
In responding to Audra.
Mhm.
Well, first up, we're going to some place. He said Paragon or something. I don't know nothing about it, but whatever you could tell us, I think would be helpful, or whatever's useful on a journey like that, in lieu of finding your friend, because we're not really going to have time to go see somebody before we got to get going.
You want to know what Paragon is? Well, it's the place where the Paragon lives, obviously.
Yep, but that's the part that we don't know what the hell the Paragon is.
You don't know where the Paragon is?
Yeah. See, I told you when I started here, we woke up in the waste. I don't know a damn thing about where I'm from or where
but
we
everyone
are.
knows what Paragon is, yeah? I mean, okay. Well, right. And she, like, puts her kind of thick leather gloves back on and goes and picks up the tongs and goes to take another piece of metal and puts it over in the forge, clearly deciding to work while she's explaining this to you. And she sort of says over her shoulder, "Well, a Paragon is a city. It's a city or a fortress or something." And she goes and lays a piece of metal with the end sticking into the actual forge made of bricks there. It's where he lives, isn't it? Well, I don't know. He's the best, isn't he? You know? He's well, he's been around these last, fuck me, I don't know how long. I don't know, as long as I've been alive. He's supposed to be the best version of people. Best version of folk all round. You know, he's the smartest, he's the strongest, he's the wisest, he's the kindest. He's also the most brutal. He's also the least forgiving. He's also the most forgiving. Never met him myself, but he rules over Paragon, and he keeps the forces of the Archon well out of there. Keeps the Mad God in his place, he does, the Paragon.
Well, seems we're going to see him. Guess if you got anything that might be useful on a journey like that.
Well, there's nothing for you to take with you. Not if Aldrin the Grim. And she kind of like half turns back to you. She's still got one gloved hand on the tongs that are like holding a piece of metal into the forge. And she's kind of facing you in profile. Well, there's folk who say, not me, but there's folk who say that Paragon, well, it's all well and good when you're in Paragon, isn't it? But when you're out in the rest of the Howling Lands here, it's not the Paragon what keeps the Archon in check. It's Aldrin the Bloody Grim. That's why he's so angry all the time, isn't it? If you're going with him, don't you worry, my lad. You've nothing to prepare for on your own. It'll tend to you, and you won't have much choice in the matter, as I expect you know.
Yeah.
Deirdre and Doolin make perception checks.
Yep. I was afraid you'd say something like that. Fortunately, he's the one I'm. Well, it's been, like I said, it's nice to do something that feels familiar and useful for a change. So, appreciate your hospitality. Wish you luck out here.
What? Is that all then? You work all bloody night? You know what you want is a conversation?
Well, we're leaving, so got space to go talk to nobody.
Reckon that's so. Well, sorry to lose you. And she kind of leans in and looks at the metal that's sitting in the fire and then decides it's not hot enough. And she kind of shrugs back, anchored as she is to her work in her hand.
Yeah.
I say travel safe, but travel smart, I reckon.
Yeah, now we're talking. Do our best. You take care now. Do I notice what Ilya's doing? Can I make a perception check?
Sure.
He could.
Take a -2 on. Yeah.
He sneak away.
I mean, you can see that he was pulled back. I mean, we know that, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we're good. Just checking the state of things. I'm
Sure.
starting to end my conversation. If everything's in order, then I will close it and walk away.
No, I mean he's still standing back there.
Great.
They have not. He kind of went forward, oh, what's that? And they pulled him back, and then he just kind of drifted. Or I mean,
Cool.
I'll tell me if anything different, but I assume you kind of just looked around, but keeping your hands to yourself. You're just looking at the wares, right?
I mean, I'm still until further notice. Even if we're in private, I'm acting as if I'm more injured than I actually am. So my arms are kind of cloaked. Yeah.
Say my goodbye, walk off, and come up to these kids here and round them up.
So I mean, yeah, when Shaw turns around and comes back to you guys, three of you are standing pretty close to each other anyway.
I would have liked to be looking around and see if I see a bonfire or something.
So nothing obvious. There are a fair number of, light sources along the way. Some occasionally are actually burning wood. There is, as you guys know, there's a lot of dead wood out there in the wasteland, but it burns, as you guys learn, somewhat to your peril. It burns kind of problematically quickly, and it's not a good long-term fuel. So there are a lot more somewhat bright but steady lights of minor enchantments that are kind of at the mouths of a lot of these tents. Some of them even resemble fire, but with the consistency of their light, you can tell the difference. But yeah, no big towering flame or anything like that.
I gotcha.
When Shaw comes back, how'd it go?
Well, she ain't got much to give, but got a little bit of information. We can walk and talk.
What?
Deirdre, you mind leading the way since you apparently know where you're going?
Gonna make sure Ilya is kind of on the same page, shuffling forward.
Okay. All right. So you guys, I mean, as Shaw comes back, you guys gather around and he kind of nods you out of the forge. Yeah. I mean, Ilya's just standing there, hands inside of that jacket, and yeah, but Doolin, you kind of look at him hey, you first, and yeah, Ilya's yeah, fine, and he just walks off in front of you. Do you follow him? Okay, Deirdre, make a perception check. Okay. I mean, walking along, yeah, you see a couple. There are some trash piles They're mostly between tents. But it doesn't look like anybody's burning anything right now. But sure, there are plenty of refuse piles. Most of them are at least 50% biological waste, though. So kind of gross to paw through.
I'll take these rags and like shove it down in something real nasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's like nobody
ones
wants
with
to
the-
like take a closer look at it. Just
No.
like not shove it, but like definitely like
Can you get that sound effect one more time? Okay. Thanks.
Going on the soundboard.
Okay. So no problem. You,
All right, and then I'll lead him back around to the scary guy's tent.
Scary guy.
Oh, it's not too long. Deirdre she doesn't seem thrilled about it, but she seems like she knows where she's going. And she takes you through the simply wrought streets here to a very simple, what must be a one-room tent, like a small circle held up by one tent pole. And it looks out on a small collection of others around there, but there's really nothing to distinguish it as the residence of Aldrin the Grim himself and whatever repute he has. But as you even get close, the man himself actually steps out. He is, as much as you remembered him, just angry looking with his permanent kind of grimace and sneer. He has that hook nose and stringy blonde hair, and his stature is once again augmented by what you guys now know is some kind of mail armor that he wears his cloak over. And he steps out, kind of ducking under from the tent flap. And as you guys are out on the street, he surveys you just for a moment. His eyes look across you. He says, "Good. You will follow me." And he starts striding away from his tent, assuming your obedience.
Right. Where are we headed?
He takes a few steps before answering, and then says over his shoulder, "To Paragon."
I feel a lot more comfortable going out in the waste with our weapons in hand.
You have not been given weapons. You have shown yourselves to be irresponsible with them.
Yeah, worth a shot.
You guys following him?
Yeah, just a note, Ilya sticks close to Doolin. He just continues in that fashion of selling his debilitation, but is at this point, I think, relying on Doolin to give him some like physical guidance and things like that. So just stays kind of close. And
Deirdre kind of has her hands on him as if to support him too.
Okay. Good. Doolin, are you kind of letting Ilya lean on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So between Doolin on one side, Deirdre on the other, you guys are making a good show of like supporting Ilya as he's limping along with his grievous injuries.
Yeah, lean on the dwarf and the halfling.
quick note: Ilya is 6 feet tall.
Lean in like this.
We caught you by the hips.
Or maybe it's like
I have Deidre on my shoulders, and that's how we're making it work.
Deirdre's really just helping for show, I guess.
All right, so from substantially below him, both Deirdre and Doolin are helping Ilya, but making a show of it. So okay, so you guys follow Aldrin, and it doesn't take long. He takes you to a sort of gathering area, just a big open place in the dirt where a lot of those fighting men and women, whether some of them must be the same, but they're clearly gathering their own supplies, equipping themselves very much as you had seen them out in the waste, preparing for a journey of indeterminate distance. They are mostly equipped already. They're wearing the same thick, spongy leather armor, same helms. They have the same mismatched weapons, and you're almost certain that a couple of them must be the same people. Whatever the size of the fighting force here, it's not enough that apparently this guy, Aldrin, rotates out his roster entirely between these ventures. But altogether, it's about 24 fighting men and women who are mostly equipped by the time you guys arrive. And they don't snap to attention exactly, but they all pause, stop whatever they're doing, and they regard Aldrin as he walks up with some amount of reverence, and they all turn to face him. They're not in exactly even rows or anything, but they clearly wait on him as he walks into this open area. You guys are a couple of steps behind him, and he stops. Unless you tell me otherwise, I presume you stop when he stops. And he looks at the people gathered in front of him for a long moment without saying anything. You must make yourselves ready for a journey, he says in his somewhat nasal, uninspiring voice. We are departing before we were intended to. I have been made aware that an overwhelming force of archaic monstrosities descends upon us even now. We cannot know their aim, for they are not rational, and they are not driven by objectives and reason as we are. But we must assume that our new captives are their objective. So, he clears his throat and straightens himself, which is the greatest deliberate effort at public speaking you guys have seen this dude make so far. We do not understand our situation. We do not know the penalties for failure. But we may be certain that if we are to lose our cargo, we will satisfy one of the reprehensible objectives of our great enemy, the Mad God. And so, men and women of Paragon, we will brace ourselves to our duty. We will walk the many miles between here and Paragon, and we will ensure that neither the foul plague of fairy magic nor the scourge of the Mad God shall deter us in any way from our true faith in the Paragon. Gather your things. The preciousness of our cargo is not determined by its appearance. He goes with half a glance over his shoulder. But rather by the ferocity with which our foe pursues it. Therefore, we have precious cargo. Prepare to embark. He turns around to look at all of you. Need I put you in chains? For your crimes, you well deserve them.
Well, understanding our situation a little better now, build all of us in, I don't think that would be necessary. At least share a goal, keeping ourselves alive. I'd rather help you with that.
Well, I'm gonna need my axe. You put me in chains, I'm no help to you.
One of you can make a diplomacy check. We need one number from which to derive the success of the whole thing. However, any amount of other players can help that one person, but be aware that your difficulty is going to be a 15 to make comments like Doolan just made to sort of support the case. If you succeed, it'll be a +2 on the primary person making the check. If you fail, it will be a -2. So, who will be the person that is trying to negotiate what you exactly are pointing at? Okay. All right. Point at Shaw. All right. Will anyone try to, as he says these things, make a certain supportive case on his behalf?
I feel like I'll just piss him off. So I don't know.
Dylan's keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I'll just-
Anybody else?
We need all the swiftness we can get. Change will just slow us down.
Okay. So Deirdre is gonna try to contribute. Ilya?
Ilya is silent.
All right. So real quick, Deirdre.
I will have to say something because I feel like I have to.
Dylan's
can't.
thinking as well. That's fair. All right.
Yeah, I
So
have to say.
the things you say do matter. Okay. It will affect the DC here.
That's fine.
But first off, Deirdre and Doolin make diplomacy checks.
And to be clear, I want to advocate for our weapons.
Yes.
Okay. Not just
That's
for not
what I
being a
figured.
chain school.
But I'm gonna let you make your case here in a second. I just want to see what the
Where's diplomacy again?
There you go.
Character sheet. Okay.
It the 6th tab from the left. It's a hand.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
All right. +0. Got a 15. Not bad.
There you go. That's a +2.
75th percentile.
Shaw.
Not unexpected, Doolin.
Hey, I mean, that was part of the course right there.
Right.
Could've been worse.
Significantly better than shockingly bad.
Yes, right.
All
Maybe didn't piss him off, so that's a win.
right. So with a few comments from your compatriots here, some of which have already been said, Shaw, he's staring at you, having just made the comment, that that like asking if you needed to be chained. Dylan makes a little side comment about, like, if you want me to help, man, I just need my axe. Chains aren't going to make me help anything. But Aldrin does not visibly respond to that.
I'll kind of take a couple steps towards him. I don't know how close he is, but like kind of hands open, step towards him. You'll remember what I have in my back, and that we were willing to lay down our lives to protect that secret that we want to get to someone who's fighting the Archon. Our purpose is clear. We've laid that before you. Now I understand yours a little better. We ain't gonna cause any trouble. We can be more than cargo. We can be fighting men and women, helping this cause.
And yet, when faced with the clear voice of authority, you responded by murdering one of the fighting men of Paragon.
We didn't know who the hell you were. We don't know anything about this place, you or your men or this Paragon. Just defending ourselves from the unknown. You're a little more known now. I don't see any reason to keep fighting with you.
Ilya takes a couple of hobbling steps forward, and he has his arms out, and it was only me. It was I who took life, and you have rendered me without need of chains. Anyway,
Make a bluff check. DC 10. Or deception, excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. So I have a hero point on my sheet. I just want to talk through what is possible to use these things for.
we have hero points.
My sheet says I have one. I'm just I'm checking in here.
Okay.
Well, if anybody's going to burn a hero point on this, it's going to be me.
Where's the hero point listed?
There's one under my character name on the top of the sheet, a little tiny circle.
Oh,
Yeah, standard policy. Everybody starts with 1 hero point.
Oh, okay. What I didn't know. I'm sorry. Can I use a it's in if we cannot do it in retro, I'm perfectly happy with that.
You can. It's a smaller bonus. It's a +4 in retro. It's a +8 beforehand. But
Okay.
you can retroactively add a +4 and burn your hero point.
I'm gonna burn my hero point on this, and
Okay.
I'm gonna retroactively add a +4, bring me to a total of 13,
Can
which
do.
I believe exceeds the DC previously stated.
It does. Yeah. Okay.
We
All
all
right.
just saw our lives flash before our eyes.
We're fighting Aldrin again.
All right. So okay. Yeah. So when Ilya says that, Aldrin stares at him for a moment and says, "Your crime was egregious, and yet you have borne the punishment." He pauses for a long moment. Shaw, make your diplomacy check. You got a +2 from Deirdre on her comment before. You got a -2 from Doolin, kind of saltily commenting in the back in a way that was apparently unhelpful. So you break even here.
Okay.
Although I will say that the sort of crime and punishment angle from Ilya there, I would say we'll give you a +4.
Okay.
What you were requesting, of course, is your weapons back, or some accommodation along that way. So there are, and I think for everybody's sake, as well as mine, of not fudging the numbers on this, I try to just I've been starting to try to be upfront about DCs because it just clarifies where we are. Okay, your minimum success is a 12. A total success will be an 18. You do have a +4 from Ilya here.
So my total's a +9.
Hey,
Minimum success, total success. Okay, interesting. Now I'm weighing how to spend my own hero point. I go ahead and drop for another +8, or save it for a reroll.
the future turns on such decisions.
Yikes.
How many hero points do you get? Like, is it refresh every level?
They do not refresh every level. They refresh when you do something awesome without a hero point.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
my little conversation to Aldrin didn't work. That wasn't cool.
It was-
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna try without and save it for a potential reroll
Okay.
in case of a 1. So
Copy.
at a +4 circumstance bonus,
Mhm.
and that was great. Okay,
Oh my god!
I'll use that reroll.
That's what you had. Oh
Prepare for
my!
literally that eventuality.
Oh my god!
So you use the hero point to allow you to reroll?
I am now.
Or-
Yes. I
So-
saved it. I could have added a +8 beforehand, but I instead chose
Yeah.
to save it for this.
For those of you who don't know, the red means that he rolled a natural 1.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying.
Breaks all
All
our
right,
arms.
let's get that.
Game's over. Ship it.
Yeah.
All right. A 2. A 1 and a 2. Really?
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Fuck this game.
Oh,
We don't get our weapons back.
oh, man.
Can I use the hero point to give him stuff?
No.
What?
That's almost as bad as they come. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's what it is. So, okay. So he stares at you for a long moment. And then says, "My decision is made. Your arms will be conveyed to Paragon. You may plead with the Paragon itself. Beyond that, I discharge the decisions for your case. Decisions that have been made will stand, and I will be judged by them, as will you. Make yourselves ready to depart. And as you say, be no burden.
Yeah, we're ready.
And there's another voice from across this kind of preparation area. This guy walks across the open space. He is not cowled and hooded like many of the folk around here, especially those preparing for a journey. In fact, he has sort of flowing blonde hair that is blown out behind him in the wind, and high cheekbones, bright bluish eyes, and kind of an athletic build, unlike a lot of the sort of half-starved people that are around here. He calls out as he walks across. But wait! You are not prepared to depart already. Aldrin does not look that way, the sound of his voice, but he just remains perfectly still. I implore you, Aldrin, known as the Grim, will you not accept help? Will you not accept help on a perilous and important journey, as you have said? Aldrin does not turn to look at the guy walking across the open kind of preparation area, although pretty much everybody else, these men and women who are gearing themselves up for travel, putting on packs and stowing weapons, they all watch him as he comes across. Surely, Master Aldrin, and he sketches a bow. Anyone who would help you on such an important journey shall not be denied. And Aldrin turns finally, just his head, and he looks at the blonde-haired man walking across the open dirt area. You do not have my trust, Kathy. Nor will I share with you my power. And yet, I will share with you mine. And my guidance, as I can, from my many agents, abroad, out in the waste. Can you turn down such companionship? No. Make yourself ready as well. Right, and he sketches another kind of elaborate bow.